Good morning. It's not morning. It's afternoon, but I woke up at 11:43. And that's because I live in my mother's basement. They pay for all the food and my insurance. It's like being a sorority girl in college. Everything is paid for, but I still claim to be independent. No, I'm kidding. For the 19th time, I don't live in my parents' basement. I haven't received a cent from them since 1992. I know, independence is a foreign concept to people nowadays. But not my listeners, not my viewers. Everybody else. I'm talking to the trolls, not you guys. But yeah, I woke up like, I don't know, 3 minutes ago. Took a shower. And now I'm going to go to my favorite bar and have coffee. It's the life, man. It's the fucking life. And everyone, who'd you do? Here, this will be an aside. This won't be part of the original. This will be an aside. How I did it was not fucking up. That's how I did it. I didn't have kids I couldn't afford. I just plain didn't have kids. Heck, I even did fuck up. And I still managed to come from behind because I don't have a spendy lifestyle. Okay? I lived in basements. I lived in a basement. My first place, my first duplex in the Twin Cities. I'll tell you this, just to show you. I rented a side-by-side duplex and completely illegal renovated the basement so I could live in it. It wasn't illegal to renovate. It was illegal to live down there. But the Twin Cities are a bunch of communist assholes, so screw them. So I lived in this basement while I rented out the upstairs units. And, dude, it was like 34 degrees. I'd have shut-off valves on the water mains so pipes wouldn't freeze. I'd load up on the covers to keep my heat bill down. I mean, that's what I did. And now everything is paid off. And now, not that I'm certainly not rich by any imagination, but now it's nice. I don't have any car loans. I drive shitty cars. You know what to do. Honestly, deep down inside, everyone knows what to do. If you want to sleep until noon, you cut your spending to bare bones, and then you make very little, but you don't have to make a lot. That's how it is. Anyway, this has nothing to do with the requested video that we had today, sent to us by Chad. And Chad is from Canada. Blame Canada, yes. Where everything is 8-bit. We had another email exchange, so I'm going to read his email, but I'm going to talk about Canada and the U.S. because it was germane to his request. Hi, Aaron. I heard about your book, Bachelor Pad Economics, on A Voice for Men radio a while back, and I've been trying to change my life for the better ever since reading it. But my question is more so about your other books and the views expressed on your YouTube channel. You say that the United States is declining, but I'm wondering if you have an opinion on Canada. How much of the information provided both on YouTube and in Bachelor Pad Economics and other books would apply to me and my country? I'm pretty sure that's all I need to ask, though I'm firing this email off just as I leave for work. All right. My books, Enjoy the Decline is obviously written about America and the United States. It could be largely applied to the West in general because we suffer from the same sociological, economic, and demographic problems as everybody, and financial problems as well. Bachelor Pad Economics, that is almost 95% practical anywhere in the world because it's, aside from things like specific to the United States, like 401ks and mortgage interest deductions, things written into our specific United States laws, those minor things would not apply, but the rest of it is universal, absolutely. I had people from Africa, one guy from Uzbekistan, say, hey, can I? I'm like, dude, Uzbekistan. I'm like, all right, I gotta find out. I know it's out there in the middle of, underneath. It's the Soviet Union's ass is what it was. It's on the bottom part there. And so I said, yeah, this is universal stuff. So most of the economic theory in all my books, worthless, perfect example right there. It doesn't matter if you're in India or Bangladesh or the Antarctic. People are probably going to demand a tradesman more than they will a poet, no matter where you go. So yes, more or less my books are universal. And then, obviously I can't write for a worldly audience, so I do apologize for that. But yeah, you could take pretty much everything you want there and then fill in the holes with a little bit of internet research as well. Now, specifically, as to, is Canada like the U.S., I knew intuitively through past research that it was. That as much as we like to claim we're very different from one another, there are not two countries that are this similar on the planet than the United States and Canada. And our economies are more or less identical. Matter of fact, everything is identical. I went to the OEC. You could go oec.org, click on their statistics, and you can look up a whole host of different statistics and ratios. And I did, just to kind of confirm that things were still the same, and they are. The United States and Canada are pretty much identical in terms of our economics, except for a handful of things that are key, though, and different, so I've jotted them down here. The GDP per capita, or income per capita. In Canada, it's $40,000. In the United States, it's $50,000. I think that's a bullshit statistic. I don't believe it's true. I think Canada is doing better than the United States. So certainly, you're not 80% our standards of living. When I went up there, it wasn't like, oh, wow, this is a crap hole, like I'm in a bad neighborhood. Things were the exact same in terms of standards of living. Now, maybe you pay a little bit more for gas, but then we don't pay for our own health insurance, or then, yeah, you guys don't pay for your own health insurance, although you do in other ways. So that's what the statistics say. I didn't see that. Your debt is not as bad as yours. Your debt is only 93% to GDP, as ours is 106. And your deficit spending is a lot better as well. It's only 2.1% GDP, while ours is 6% GDP. And that is frankly because you have Stephen Harper and we have President Fucktardo. And we have a bunch of fucking idiots that want free cake and cheese. And that right there is the biggest difference that then manifests itself in some kind of fiscal responsibility and economic growth as well. We really do have a socialist as a president, and you have a guy who actually kind of likes Canada and economic growth and isn't a socialist, ideologue. Otherwise, everything beside that, you're slightly more fiscally responsible. You're still in the shithole. 93% GDP sucks. Your deficit, like if you kept having Harper and you kept going a general conservative route and you got your finances together and you became responsible like Norway or Switzerland and balanced budgets and things like that. Yeah, but you know what? I just whoever you guys put in office is a representation of you, and you suffer the same decaying the decay in the quality of the human population that we are. You're trending socialists. You got two coasts that parasite off of the real working people. You got parasitic, what is it? You got Toronto and Ottawa and Quebec, and then you got our Seattle, Vancouver, It's just, hey, that's really the only difference. And you all live off of, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and inner parts of British Columbia and your northern provinces. You have what else we got here? Your millennials are just as dumb as our millennials. Socialism is infecting your schools. You have teachers that are just hand in hand with the Socialist Party. Your immigration problem isn't that bad as of yet. Like here in Minnesota, you don't need an ID to vote. Last I checked in Canada, you do. And that's largely to get illegal aliens and people who shouldn't be voting for the Democrats. I already mentioned the coast, yeah. And then about the only thing different is your Indians or your native population, the stuff I read, they're just outright thieves. I mean, holy crap. And I know you got to be, you really don't have to be politically correct. But, our Indian population, yeah, I'm sure there's no doubt there's some fraudulent money and fraud and welfare being spent. But I think, in part because I don't know if it's the casinos or what, our native population, they seem to be doing a little bit better and seem to be a little bit more moral. But the crap I read about, what was the chick, they found out like there's $500,000. Every time there's a new article, it's like, really? Really? Send out the RMCP, or the RCMP. Sorry, I was watching Dudley Do-Right a little bit late and missed the letters. Yeah, go get that money back. But in the grand scheme of things, that's not your major problem. Your major problem is a population that just keeps voting your horseshoe area, where everyone's really educated and intelligent, and they're hipster dipster douches like the ones we got down here. And that's it. That's it. Your younger generations are every generation progressively taught to hate Western civilization, to hate freedom, to hate capitalism, to hate your founding, to hate the successes that you've had, to be divided along the lines, just like we are here, along race, gender, religion, whatever trait the left can come up with. It's identical. It's the same. So not only would most of my books and stuff apply to Canada, but the politics is the same. It really, the underlying, you may have different people in office, but good Lord, if you get that putz, that fucking trust fund baby fucker, Trudeau. That's no different than Obama. Because Obama was a trust fund baby. Well, so was Bush. So was all of them. And you get that guy whose dad was the frickin' premier beforehand. This guy Trudeau has never worked a day in his life, but he's going to get the votes from people who are poor. It's the same thing. And if you get Trudeau, there's your Obama. It's over. I mean, then enjoy the decline will exactly apply to you. But then again, depends on how many people or what your parliament looks like. But no, it's over, guys. You know, go buy silver, buy gold. Unless there's some like really amazing turnaround where you get like a Ronald Reagan in there and the country has an epiphany and wakes up and realizes, holy crap, the socialism thing isn't working. Like we have nothing but single parents and children growing up to be criminals and no one's getting real jobs or real training. And oh my gosh, look how much wider our asshole has got to be before the teachers union fucks us up it. So, I'm sorry, is that too? I don't care. So, anyway, that's all we got. Hopefully that answered your questions there, Chad. And if any of you doing this a lot, I don't know who does this. Hey, who does that? Elvis? I don't know. Tired Elvis. If any of you have a video request, go ahead and send it to me. I will charge you, and I will charge an extra $5. That's what I don't get. It's part of Asshole Consulting. Go to assholeconsulting.com. If you got a question you want answered, but you're kind of like, well, gosh, you know, that's a lot of time out of his day. I don't know if he can answer all the emails. You're right, I can't. But if you pay me, I can, because then I can do it. And for some reason, like 60% of them are video requests. Just so you know, I charge an extra $5 for video requests because I got to record it and upload it and all that. But, yeah, if you want a video request, you want something done, sure, I'll do it. Just, you know, be prepared to pay $20, $25, $30. So, that's all we got. Toodles.